What's good, Polly? Gang, 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 gang. It's your boy, KeeSeeY. So you guys already know I'm back on the Elvis Presley journey. I just reacted to two of his music videos and songs. This time, react to Elvis Presley live interview 1956. This was recommended by one of you guys, and yeah, I don't think I've watched this interview at all. I know I've reacted to two of his interviews already, but this was during 1956. It was a live interview. I'm not entirely sure where this interview started at or what it was about, but yeah, let's just jump into the video.
And to get right into action immediately with the most controversial entertainer of the year, well, you'll hear who. Hi, I have Elvis Presley on the phone. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Elvis. Just one moment.
Hello, Elvis.
Hello?
Did you have fun tonight on the Steve Allen show?
Yes, sir, I really did. I really enjoyed it.
First time you ever worked in tux or tails?
It's the first time I ever had one on, period.
You mean
Oh.
you've got, as they say, 4 Cadillacs, but no tuxedos?
No tuxedo. I usually drive the Cadillacs in blue jeans.
That's very interesting.
Hey, Elvis is my type of guy. Anytime I'm going out, I think this is most people. Most people don't dress up, but back in those days, I think most people wore like ties, suits. Like even if you're going to work, even if you're just going out to the store, back in the 1950s and 60s and 40s, that's what people dressed up. Ties and suits. They had their best fit on. Hair was always done. But I mean, now these days, y'all, it don't matter where I'm going. I got my hoodie on. I only got jeans on. I got some sweatpants on. Most people got flip flops here and there. I got Vans. I wear Vans almost every day. That's exactly how I'm wearing. But Elvis he said when he's in his Cadillac, he got his jeans on, and that's all. I think that's all he says so
When a
far.
cop stops you and wants to know if you own the car, huh?
That's right. You have to show them all your ownership papers and everything.
You know, less than 2 years ago, you were earning $14 a week as a movie usher and then $35 a week for driving a truck in Memphis. Today, you're the most controversial name in show business. Has this sudden notoriety affected your sleep, your appetite, or the size of your head?
Not the size of my head. It's affected my sleep.
How much sleep do you get?
Yeah.
I average about 4 or 5 hours a night, I guess.
Is that enough?
Well, it's really not, but I'm used to it, and I can't sleep any longer.
Yeah.
What do you...
I didn't realize how much of a toll it takes on some people, like a lot of famous people. Especially like once you just get famous, a lot of people are gonna want you at this different location. A lot of people are gonna ask you to do collabs with them. They're gonna ask you to do this. Hey, we need you here. We need you there. And and then you're gonna ask them, hey, when do I need to get there? They're gonna be like, no, by tonight or by tomorrow, the earliest you can get here. By tomorrow, they're pretty much. Some people even pay for your flights and stuff like that, but they want you there as soon as possible. And I could tell that he even looks kind of tired just a little bit, but I mean, he's still composed and stuff like that. But you could tell that, especially like once that fame hits right away, it's gonna take a toll on a lot of people.
What do you keep in mind mostly? I mean, some of the songs you're going to do, or some of your plans, or what? What goes through your mind?
Well, everything has happened to me so fast in the last year and a half till I'm all mixed up, you know. I mean, I can't keep up with everything that's happening. And
Well, I think that you've got very good company in Colonel Tom Parker. His feet are on the ground, and I think he's doing a wonderful job of keeping things rolling nicely. You know, I want to give you an opportunity here to go over a lot of the rumors that have been printed about you, including a few that I printed myself.
Colonel Tom Parker, he'll be portrayed by Tom Hanks in that movie, right? The Elvis movie. You see, like, I've seen him in the other interview with Elvis. So I guess he was there with Elvis like at the start of his career, which is kind of interesting. But in the trailer, they had it as he was there, but towards the end of Elvis's career, it seemed as though like Elvis maybe was getting rid of him in the movie trailer. That's how they had it in the movie trailer. I don't know too much about Colonel Parker, but I know he was I think Elvis's manager, and he booked different things for him.
These things can be checked and some can't, and I think that we ought to sort of fix up the record. Now, your style of gyrating while you sing has been bitterly criticized, even by usually mild and gentle TV critics like Ben Gross. Now, do you bear any animosity towards these critics?
well, not really. Those people have a job to do, and they do it.
Now, do you think you've learned anything from the criticism leveled at you?
No, I haven't,
You haven't, huh?
because I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong.
Do you read the stuff?
That's
Do
true.
I read, you mean
The reviews?
not if I can help it.
Do you keep a scrapbook at all?
Only of the good stuff.
Only on the good stuff. That's smart. Tell me, what kind of a teenager were you? Did you consider yourself well-behaved?
Yes, well, I was raised,
Yeah.
in a pretty decent home and everything. My folks always made me behave whether I wanted to or not.
Well, how do they feel about your success and the things that some of the critics have said about you, both good and bad?
Well, I guess they're just like myself. They're very thankful for it. I mean, we always led a kind of a common life. We never had any luxuries, but we were never real hungry,
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're just, they're real proud, just like I am.
Well, now, there are 2 or 3 columns this week that carried items that you had bought 4 Cadillacs. Now, what is that of that, Elvis?
It's
And what?
it's the truth. I do have 4 Cadillacs.
What do you do with 4 Caddies?
Well, I don't know.
He drives them.
I don't have a use for 4. I just, maybe someday I'll go broke and I can sell a couple of them.
Well, some people collect stamps and government bonds. I guess Cadillac.
I like that. And then it's crazy because, like, even, like, this documentary that I watched, it had told about Elvis, like, it was, like, 200 Cadillacs. It was pretty much talking about Elvis and his love for Cadillacs. So he was a big-time Cadillac person. That was probably, like, even before he was famous, he always wanted a Cadillac. So once he did get famous, first thing he bought. And right now he has 4 of them, which, hey, I don't blame him. I mean, it's a solid car. It's a solid car. That's one thing I would say. It was probably big time back then, back in those days. I was probably like the name brand car that was selling a lot. But yeah, I can't blame him one bit. And one thing that I like that he had mentioned about was about like his family. He said that, like, I didn't react to a lot of his videos and stuff like that. Like, they didn't grow up with much stuff like that, but they still had food on the table every night, which is good for them because it's kind of like the stuff that you need was there. And I mean, you're surrounded by family, surrounded by friends that care for you. So your needs are there. You have the morals. You have the support of people around you. And I mean, some things that you want in life, he was able to get that. But I mean, as long as you have that support and you have those people that's there surrounding you, I think that means probably more than just having like the other stuff. But the other stuff is nice to have too. I mean, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Supposedly in the same category. I understand you gave one of them to your folks. Is that right?
Well, anything that's mine is theirs. I mean, all 4 of them is theirs.
He was already giving stuff
I'm
away.
for 7. I mean, I want 7.
You want 7, huh?
Yes.
Well, you know what's going to happen. You'll wind up outdoing Carey. It'll be the Presley Car Renting Corporation.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Presley used car lot,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand that you bought a home for your folks, and even though your father is only 39, you've insisted that he retire. Is that true?
Wow.
Yes. Well, he's more help. I mean, he's more help at home than he is anywhere else because he can take care of all my business. He can, he can look after things when I'm gone.
Did he say his father's only 39? Or did he say 49? I think he said only 39. Wow, that's young. Extremely.
He's more help at home than he is anywhere else because, he's more help.
39, you've insisted that he... Yeah, I understand that you bought a home for your folks, and even though your father is only 39, you've insisted that he retire. Is that true?
He said 39.
Yes. Well, he's more help. I mean, he's more help at home than he is anywhere else because he can take care of all my business. He can... he can look after things when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's very smart. On your personal appearance, did you create a sort of mass hysteria amongst your audiences of teenagers? Is your shaking and quaking in the nature of an involuntary response to this hysteria?
Would you say that again, sir?
Well, I say that when you shake and you quake when you sing, is that sort of an involuntary response to the hysteria of your audience?
Involuntary?
Yeah.
Well, I'm aware of everything I do at all times, but it's just the way I feel.
I mean, for example, if somebody is playing ball, they play just a little bit harder when the fans root, and I was wondering whether this had anything to do with
sure. Well, I guess any artist, if the audience acts like they're enjoying it, if they act like they're with you, well, it makes you put more into it.
Yeah.
Do you think that your rocking and rolling has had an evil influence on teenagers, or you think it gives them an outlet?
I don't see that any type of a music would have any bad influence on people when it's only a music. I mean, I can't figure it out. I mean, in a lot of the papers, they say rock and roll is a big influence on juvenile delinquency. I don't think that it is. Juvenile delinquency is something that's, well, it just, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't see how music would have anything to do with it at all.
I understand that Mitch Miller of Columbia Records defines rock and roll as a safe form of rebellion against mother, father, and teacher. Do you go along with this analysis?
Yeah, I could agree with that. Like, I don't see like music as a whole. I can see it as two sides of a coin. It depends on like what the music is bringing, like what the artist brings, what the artist stands for, and how that could affect someone that's listening to their music. Like even someone that's listening to an artist that talks about killing, drugs, alcohol, all this different stuff. There's a person that listens to it and just listens to it because they like the song. They like that. They want to be. They want to like. They don't actually want to be that person, but when they're singing it, they feel like, oh, they could act like that person at that moment, but in reality, that's not how they act, and they go about their normal daily life. Now, it can have an effect and a toll on some people that are actually in that lifestyle and are actually doing that, or some people that want to be in that lifestyle. It can affect them. So, I mean, it just really depends on the person, to be honest with you guys.
I don't exactly know what he means by rebellion. I mean, how would rock and roll music make anybody rebel against their parents?
Well, I guess that answers Mr. Miller. Now, I've got a couple of questions here I'd like to sort of clear up. One of them, and it's sort of a silly one to me, after having talked with you at some length earlier. What about the rumor that you once shot your mother?
What?
Well, I think that one takes the cake. I mean, that's about the funniest one I've ever heard.
Yeah, right?
I have no idea. I can't imagine. When you mentioned it to me, it's the first time I ever heard it.
Is that right?
The craziest thing is the interviewer had like a straight face when he said that until Elvis started laughing. Like, what? Like I never heard that one before. That's my first time hearing that one as well.
Well, there's another one too you may not have heard before. Several newspaper stories hinted that you smoked marijuana to hit the bottle in order to work yourself into a frenzy while singing. What about that?
I don't know.
You won't even bother answering that one. Well, here's a one that's very interesting. I don't know whether you noticed the column the other day. They predict that Elvis Presley will be another James Dean. Now, have you heard that?
Well, I've heard something about it, but I would never compare myself in any way to James Dean because James Dean was a genius in acting.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'll say that I sure would like to. I mean, I guess there's a lot of actors in Hollywood that would like to have had the ability that James Dean had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I would never compare myself with James Dean in any way.
Now, if you had your choice, would you prefer to be an actor than to be a singing entertainer?
If I were a good actor, of course I'm not a good singer, but if I were a good actor, I think that I would like it a little better. Although, if I ever break into the acting completely, I'll still continue my singing. I'll still continue making records.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's always a very, very good sideline. Well, it was just fine talking with you, and I hope that you'll enjoy a long career, whether it's acting or anything else. And I think that all of the things said about you, while they've been extremely critical, I think they have helped to make you the kind of a big name that has made it possible for you to do the things for your folks you always wanted to. So I sort of think I'd look at it that way, Elvis.
Well, sir, I tell you, you got to accept the bad along with the good. I've been getting some very, very good publicity.
Mm-hmm.
The press has been real wonderful to me, and then I've been getting some bad publicity, but you got to expect that. And I know that, I'm doing the best I can, and I have never turned a reporter down. I never turned a disc jockey down because they're the people that help make you in this business.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I know that I'm doing the best I can, that's...
No, you can't be expected to do any more. And I want to tell you, it's just been swell talking with you, and you make a lot of sense.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Give my best to the Colonel now.
Sure will.
Bye-bye.
Now, one thing I can say, if he didn't think he was a good singer then, shoot, he ended up being a phenomenal singer. Probably one of the best, hands down, vocalists ever. But, I still think he was great around that time. But, man, this was a great interview. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, some of the questions were far-fetched, but he actually asked some interesting questions, to be honest with you guys. Especially during that time period about how people were reacting to Elvis around that time period. And I liked it. It was like a younger Elvis giving an interview on him fame after a couple years of him being famous and the way he was living his life and the things he was doing with his life. So I like this. This is a great video. And guys, on that note, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, because it's your boy, KeeSeeY, and Polly Gay. Yo, we out.